What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I wanted to talk to you about some gripers because they're, in my opinion, spreading nonsense that just isn't true when you compare goals to other football games, right? So here's the deal. We'll scroll through and look right here. When you go into the goals Discord, which the devs are great, provide your feedback. They're the best of any development company at actually responding and caring. And you could tell by the way they take the time to answer any questions you may have, to give feedback. They might have answered a million of the same type of question and they'll still give you the time of day. No other development company does that. I have a video coming out soon where it goes in depth with all these guys and kind of you get to see a little bit behind the scenes, and they truly do show why they're already so far ahead, even at the alpha stage of their game, which unfortunately we don't have the footage to compare to an FC or an eFootball or UFL, because those games wouldn't dare to release their games at such an early stage, right? And so when you go into discussions or feedback, what you're seeing a lot right now is negativity, right? And it's fine to not like a current version of the game. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. But there's a lot of people talking about how bad this version is, how every next patch is worse. There's main people that are talking about these people coming in saying the game's dead, the game's wrong, the game's going in a terrible direction, saying, oh, they're right. You shouldn't be able to play like this. You shouldn't be able to use this. Talking about abusers. And it blows my mind because it's almost like they forget what FC is like. They forget what eFootball is like and what UFL is like. And those games are full release. Guys, this is the alpha version of the game. And it's still a great game. It's still better than all those other games in many areas, right? So when you're reading this stuff, if you're coming in new, you're going to get the wrong impression of what goals is. Hopefully you try for yourself and you don't just listen to this stuff, the negative stuff, because you shouldn't, especially if you're playing the other games, right? You shouldn't take what other people are saying just at face value. You should go test it yourself. And what you're going to see, especially if you're playing the other games, because maybe what's happening, I don't know for sure, but these guys are playing just goals, haven't played eFootball, UFL, or FC26, at least not in a while. And so they're just judging goals against goals, right? Which is fine, right? You want to push the game to be the best it can be. But when you're putting out this stuff in the Discord, it makes it sound like, if you read through and get a quick overview, they're making the game sound like it's broken. They're making the game sound like it's unplayable right now because there's all these rats and abusers. No, that's eFootball with smart assists and all the crap that goes along with it. UFL with the glitches that have been there for months that literally ruin the game. FC26 with all the AI nonsense, the park the bus, counter through ball meta, right? I mean, you see ramp video after ramp video. You see people talking about leaving eFootball for good if they don't get rid of Smart Assist, and there's nothing about getting rid of it. All the issues with the connection, not adding servers to their biggest communities, so they can't even play the game, right? These games, I mean, UFL is a game that I started my channel around, had so much hopes for, and every step of the way they went in worse and worse directions. I went through it all. I've seen what it's like when a development company doesn't listen, when they kind of beat around the bush, don't shoot it straight with the player base, and essentially lie. Goals is none of that, right? And so it blows my mind that these guys that are supposed to be like some of the main people supporting the game and that have been with the game since the beginning of the alpha, I don't get how they can't see this above anybody else. But they're the ones almost making rules about how you have to play goals right now because it's so broken. That's wrong. Their main gripe is through balls. Their main gripe in goals is the over-the-top through balls. If you played UFL, you remember how powerful they could be, but the biggest problem is they were unstoppable because Holland, with how big and strong he was going to win the ball no matter what. You had no chance to stop him. In goals, if you read the through ball and switch to your center back, you can stop the through balls. Now, yes, they are very difficult because you, especially against skilled players, have to worry about what's going on around the ball, right? Players are so good that you can't take your focus off where the ball's at and defending that general area too much. But if you, for a split second, get lazy or lose focus, boom, that over the top through ball goes in on goal. And sometimes even if you're playing well and you've marked out several through balls, they're going to get one or two through. And then you can do the same to them. It's vice versa. But that's where the game's at. Now, do you want to see a game in which they make lofted through balls go away, where they just make the ball hang up in the air like they did UFL, which is totally unrealistic? Almost like there's a net in the air, an invisible wall stopping the ball. I mean, maybe that's what you want, right? But whatever they decide to do, we'll have to go with it and then continue playing the game. Either way, even if they had the game at full release right now, it is still the best in many ways. Yes, they have to sharpen up several areas that will allow it to truly be better than these other games, right? Because it's not even close to a finished product. But the football on the pitch is still the best, right? Because there's answers to all these things. These other games, there's no answers to it. You cannot choose to play players with or without Smart Assist. Smart Assist doesn't only help your opponent out, but it also affects your players in a negative way. You can do nothing about it. In goals, you can defend those through balls. In goals, you can defend crosses. Now, sometimes the header, the receiver of the crosses are so powerful that even when you mark them, they score. Yeah, those need to be balanced. But if you do everything correctly in goals, if you mark the through balls, you're still going to be successful. FC, you can destroy an opponent. We saw the Inception versus Nick video. He destroyed him. Nick was admitting it. They both shared the game, and Inception loses 2-0. Inception did just about everything right. He played incredible. But because it's FC, because how those games are, there are no answers to these issues. In goals, the issues that these guys are talking about, the way that they don't want players to play, it's football. It's just powerful parts of football, right? Powerful parts of football gaming. Over the top through balls, always tough in football games. But skilled players can defend them. That's the bottom line. And even the most skilled players, you're going to get beat on them sometimes. But it goes both ways. You'll get beat on them sometimes, your opponent will. And not only that, but I can speak for myself. Sometimes, for instance, I have the striker in goals that literally just has great sprinting, great finishing. Everything else she's terrible at. However, she's still my best striker, one of my two best strikers. So she still gets a start. However, I can't dribble with her, can't pass, can't really do anything. She's there to stretch the defense out. There's players where they have tools that fit those over-the-top through balls. But guess what? Once you play them, a skilled opponent starts reading that, you're giving up possession a lot of times. Because you start getting tunnel vision, like the Big Fads video I showed, where you start getting tunnel vision, or you play where you want to play instead of what is open, and that ends up hurting you more than helping you. So it's not just like you press L1 triangle and you get an automatic goal. No. Maybe against weaker opponents that can't switch properly and mark up those through balls, but it's not a broken game by any means. Full of abusers. Yes, there are other areas that are going to be sharpened where certain players aren't going to get away with certain things. I've been saying that. But of course that's the case. It's an alpha, right? This is the best time to play the game because not only can you start sharpening your skills for the full release, but you can also help, because if you see anything that's messed up, this is a perfect time to point it out, right? Stress test the game. So telling players in goals Discord that this is the worst gameplay in a while, or every patch is the worst, and it's just not true. But don't take my word for it, right? And I'm saying don't take their word for it either. Literally, play goals and see for yourself. Test out what I'm talking about. Now, I want to go into a game of each of these once again to argue my point. and to show these guys that are complaining in this Discord, that are essentially promoting other football games with what they're saying, they don't even realize it. When players are looking to test out a new football game and they go into a Discord and they see some of the top ranked players at the very top that have been a big part of the alpha, that have been playing a ton of these games, saying these negative things, that doesn't make them want to play the game. Right? If I go into eFootball and I had never played it, and Dominator or Manessa are talking about how bad eFootball is, and they're the biggest content creators, they're the best players, and they're talking about how bad it is that going to really make me want to play the game? You're going to go, man, these are the guys that have played the most. They're saying it's bad. See ya. If Tex and Vergang and all them are like, this game's terrible, I'm not playing, is it going to make you want to play the game? No. So, at the end of the day, they're not positive for the game. So, again, don't take my word for it. Play goals yourself. You can test it out. The game's not nearly as bad as these people are saying. When you play these games, right, you're going to see the issues that Goals simply doesn't have. Not only that, but as they get into beta and then full release, the stuff that is wrong that they want to tighten up or nerf or buff or whatever they want to do, they have time to do it. These other games have had years and years and years and still have these problems. So let's get right into a game. What's up, Big Phil? How are you? I know, Dave. Man, it's just a continuous story of disaster. Once Sir Alex left, it's just a continuous story of disaster, man. So, Big Phil, to answer your question, there's this small group of guys that simply just did what I did in July. They logged on to the game, but instead of going, this version's too early, because I have a channel, so I knew you guys wouldn't watch from goals from July based on what was there, right? But I logged in, I said, yep, at a later time. And then I came back. Well, these guys logged in, then they stayed through, which is great. That's good, man. The game needed players to do that. And from my understanding, I know these different guys that are at the top of the rankings that have played the longest, they've helped, obviously, because they're reporting the bugs. They're doing this. There was, for a long time, it's 20, 30 people in that game total. And then it started growing and growing, and rightfully so, because it's a great game. But when you got guys talking about right way, you shouldn't use X, Y, and Z in the game. Nobody's going to want to play the game when you're saying that stuff. Right? Who wants to go into a game where, I don't want to play the wrong way, or where they think, if the player uses what these guys are talking about, they're just going to whoop me. I'm not playing that game. If I come in right now, like I said, and Dominator tells me, you can't play through passes, that's the wrong way to play. What are you doing? Why are you spreading this game with through passes? The only way to play is without them. Who's going to want to play eFootball? What is the single most important pass when you're in the attack? So, it's just crazy to me. And we've had other games with these types of overpowered, mechanics, and then they get buffed or nerfed. But you don't just stop playing, or you don't act like it's the end of the world. Right? Not only that, but it's defendable in goals. You guys have seen all my games. You guys can go and watch them now even. You tell me that looks like an unplayable game, or you tell me that looks like, the end of the world, like goal. When a game's broken. You guys have seen when we've played through the worst of UFL, the worst of eFootball, and the worst of FC. So I don't know if it's that these guys have never, haven't played these games, other games in a long time. Maybe they haven't never played some of them. But when you look at goals compared to the competitors, they're right there at the top, and it's only alpha. Right? It's crazy to me. And it doesn't mean you lie and don't say the truth about the game, but they're just not saying the truth. That's just not the truth. like there was some guy who came in and then left and said this game is dead, it's terrible, there's scammers, abusers, blah blah blah. And then the one of the main guys, that Marceau guy, surprise surprise, goes, well, he's not wrong. I don't think the game will die, but many people are going to leave, especially if these content creators keep sharing the wrong way to play the game with the abusive stuff or whatever. Who's going to watch? Go watch let's go watch my latest game, actually. So he says that, right? So he says that. Let's watch this together. We'll put this experiment on hold for playing eFootball. Let's go to my channel. And let's check this out. One second. And so he says that, right? These content creators spreading the wrong way to play with all this broken stuff. So you read that and you're like, oh, screw this game, dude. Right? But when you watch this, tell me if that matches. And I'll find the exact comment real quick. See if I can find it. Was it in the video clips? No, it wasn't. Wasn't there. I'll let you guys read the exact thing if I can find it. Here it is. So, just a ridiculous game. So let me make sure you guys can read this. Hold on. So imagine you come in, okay? Right? This is in-game chat. And this guy says, just a ridiculous game full of abusers. Dead game soon. So I'm assuming he just played a game, lost to somebody, he was pissed, right? So this guy, this Marceau guy, part of the whole whatever was going on with that crap with those players that were coming in, they supposedly chased away. That's the guy, right? He says, at least we don't have content creators constantly show this kind of abusing playstyle. Would be a shame if more and more people would just start playing on abuse. So you're saying the game's broken then. So if people read that, why would they want to come? They're just going to say, oh, another FC. Oh, another eFootball. And it's so far from the truth. Guys, this game is way better than those games in that very case. Because it's all about your decisions, not about all this crap that players can abuse and players can use as crutches. So you see one of the main guys who made a mistake for working for Goals just because he hosts the fan tournaments and stuff, the sign-up tournaments and stuff. Like, it's all volunteer-based, but people mistake it. So you read that from him. Like I said, it would be like reading from Indominator or Manessa or Tex or Nick Runs the Foot Market, and they say the game's terrible, it's broken. Right? You can abuse stuff in the game, so it's not right. Right? It's in alpha stage. It's not as sharp as it can be. Right? But the way he's saying this here, it makes you go, okay, well, why would I go even give this a try? It's just another one of these. Here we go again with UFL, right? Everyone's been through this. And I'm telling you guys, it's so far from the truth. So then he says, I mean, he isn't wrong. I don't think the game is going to be dead, but abusers make more and more people quit the game. Abusers. Right? So there we go. Hopeful for a good patch. So and I've even seen it with my people in Discord. Some of you guys like, yeah, man, it looks like the game's bad. Looks like... Okay, so tell me, after seeing that, we'll watch the game. We'll just watch... Let's see my latest game, Goals Galore. This is where I had 2 battles. But if you really... Alright. And the ugliest game was the middle one. I played one of the guys, Joel, who, when I read his comments in there, he's saying the game's got all these things that can be abused. But, I mean, if I wanted to pick a game that I was going to show like the best of goals, I wouldn't pick our game. I would pick the game versus Law is way better. So, I mean, tighten up for sure. But it's just funny reading some of these comments and seeing this stuff. And then these guys are supposed to be promoting the game. But I don't. It's fine to be truthful, but they're just. You tell me if what that you just read is right. I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's start this from the beginning so we miss nothing. Okay? So this is against a very good player. Right? We went 1-1 in this series. I played him. He beat me by a goal. And then I beat another guy, Joel. And then we played again. I beat Law in this one. Actually, screw that. I'll show the game where he beat me. I'll show the game where he beat me. Just because I lost in this game, fair and square. Right? And there wasn't, like, there's some things in it where, yes, it could be sharpened. We even had a glitch in the second game where he gave me he gave me the goal back, and he didn't have to because it wasn't his fault. But there's stuff like that. It's an alpha, but nothing like what these guys are talking about. It was where I was on a breakaway, and then the ball kind of just, my player just couldn't receive the ball. They just ghosted through it. So anyways, here's the game from the start. You guys read those little comments. That's what people are saying. Abusers and playing the right way and the wrong way. And I can't wait for a patch because it's broken. The game's... So you guys tell me if that's what this looks like, and be honest. Again, comparing it to the other football games available, recognizing as well that this game is still in alpha. Make sure it's showing up. I don't know if it is. And it isn't, of course. eFootball showing. Sorry, guys. There we go. We're there. So, let's get into this. And then after this, I'm going to go play a game of each. And then the bottom line is, I want to see how goals in alpha is worse than eFootball that's full release. FC that's full release. UFL that's full release. Here we go. So again, if you want to look at the rankings, which yes, it's an alpha. So when the game's not finalized, you can only take that with a grain of salt. I always say it, but it just shows you where we're both at with regards to this game. So we're both top 50 in the world, right? So two top players that will give you a good idea of where the game is. This guy is an absolute beast left stick dribbler. He's extremely patient on the ball in the attack, extremely tricky and hard to mark. And then look at here. Now, tell me on this play where this is broken, right? Notice his center back there. Now, he'll even tell you what happened on this goal, right? He knows he should have marked it up. He was distracted. He knows he should have marked this up. All he had to do right here, and by the way, they don't show the like how I have the yellow over my player. It doesn't show your opponents, which is great because that gives stuff away, and that just shouldn't be there. So that's why you don't see like a marker on the opponent, but it's there. All he had to do was flick his right stick to his center back, boom, and run backwards. And he would have won this header. He could have flicked it right out to his wing backs. And normally he would too. He does it plenty where I force it, but of here. Anybody is going to play this ball here. You would be dumb not to play this ball. Clearly, because of where his midfielder is, it can't be played on the ground, right? Clearly. And over the top is the place to go. Not to mention this striker has terrible everything except for finishing and sprinting, which I love about this game. You have to deal with the players that you get. This is my second best striker. I'm playing a two-striker setup, so she's got to start. So I use her with the only tools she has. I can't dribble with her, can't pass with her. She's terrible at those, right? So I use her how I can to stretch the defense, and if it's on, why would you not play this ball? I would be silly to not play this ball. If anybody disagrees, please tell me. And please tell me where this is broken, considering you can flick to your center back and start running backwards. So all this stuff in Discord from these supposed supporters of goals that are chasing people away, even with those comments. Oh, I heard goals is broken. No, people hate. No, it's not people, guys. It's like 3. It's the same thing with this other crap that went on where I was getting all those messages. It's 3 people. It's not like, oh man, there's that whole community is. But people label it as that because it's such a small concentrated number of players right now. It's only an alpha. Like right now online, there's what, 100 and something people online? So these messages spread, they echo, and they get way more credit than they should. The game is fine. Okay? So again, there's a through ball, wide open, could have been stopped. And Law will tell you that himself. He was distracted during this play. Boom. I get through. Finish it. Ah, abuse. No. You're wrong for goals. You make look bad. How? So what do I do there? Oh, sorry, guys. Come play goals. But you see how that pass was wide open? Do not play that ball. Do not play the ball. Or the gatekeepers of Discord will shun you forever. What you should have done there is said, nope, can't play my striker even though they're in on goal. I'm going to play it backwards or out wide. Come on. Who's going to watch somebody do that? They would look at me and go, you idiot. Your striker's on. Play your striker. Oh, no. You're not allowed. There's unwritten rules in goals. You have to actually play it to the side or backwards. Come on, guys. Are we being for real? Am I right or am I right? So now it's 1-0. Oh, nope, can't play that ball. Oh, nope, can't play that ball. Oh, yep, you can play that. Imagine doing that when there's nothing wrong with this game. Brilliant movement on defense, brilliant left stick, brilliant finishing. The whole game is perfect. And this is where Law is an absolute beast, extremely hard to defend. You have to be focused at all times. Look at this ball movement's perfect. Great stuff. I was able to defend him every single time. He makes it difficult, though. That's why I love goals. The sweaty games are fun because it's you versus your opponent. There's no crutches. There's no play styles, animations taking over AI. It's you and your opponent. And in this game, he does so good in the build-up. His defensive pressure is brilliant. I play more direct, and I get more chances to where I would, could have, should have won. But he's just a monster to deal with at all times. But the same thing happened where a buddy of mine, Kami, that isn't familiar too much with goals. See, I should have finished that, but Coach went for the diving header. I wanted the volley there. So there it should have been 2-0, and that would have been huge, as you'll see here in a little bit. And you'll see a few of those. But that's the beauty of goals. That was a great save. The diving header wasn't a terrible idea. And you see that's usually a finish. I was just a little too close to the keeper there. Could have been 2-3-0, but then the monster replies, and this is where great players come in. They make you pay. Nice goal. So instead of 2-3-0, it's 1-1, right? Even on that play there, right? Obviously, I missed a couple chances I'm in. All you have to do is move your center back. That is it. It's the same way I do. Right here. Right? You see this with one of the most famous goals. It wasn't off kickoff, but was when Ederson did it to Holland. You see every time, even the best teams in the world, play the ball forward, sending their strikers to go after it. Literally, all you do here to stop this, switch to your center back. That's it. Switch to your center back. Not to mention, this Ferns happens to be an absolute beast at lofted balls. So if I catch you sleeping, boom. And guess what? He didn't switch to his defenders in time, but guess what he did do? He pulled his goalie out in time because he had a heads-up play. What are they going to do? Ban it? Right? Now, I called the kickoff glitch for my opponent, whatever he did. When he passed, and it was only open because it was from a kickoff. Then I defended it the third time. I won the game, but that's what it is, a kickoff glitch. When you can play certain patterns that guarantee you through, because you can't switch all your players, like to move them all tighter, to move them all around. You can only move your players individually or switch. And so what happens on kickoff glitches is it's simple. If your line automatically starts in a certain spot, maybe it can go over the top. If your goalie, let's say, automatically started at let's say the 18, and you could just kick it off, kick it over the top of the goalie, and there's nothing you could do, you couldn't move your goalie, that would be a glitch, right? So there is some of that, and whatever they do to balance it, so be it. But it's very easy to mark these. Same with the one where my opponent scored 2. I wish I could find that game, but it was a certain passing pattern where he sent a player on the run, passed to one player, passed the other, through ball, passed to one player. The first one I thought it was just a brilliant play. Like, man, he slid that perfectly by my defender. But then he kept doing that pattern. He scored again from it and would have scored the third time, but guess what? I read it, stopped it. Even that was stoppable. This play right here, as you see, it's stoppable. That's the bottom line. Now, if they want to make it to where, let's say on that play, let's say you go for a lob through ball, they could wait. They could make it like what? 5-second delay after the kickoff until you can play a lob through ball, or a 10-second delay. It would be very easy. They could literally put a timer to where if you try to trigger it, it won't work. It'll be like you aren't even pressing the buttons. So you have to play it on the ground. Simple fix right there. If they feel that's necessary. I feel like you should just be sharp. You should be focused. If you're not, you're made to pay for it. It's as simple as that. But whatever they decide, though, either way, nobody can argue that the game is broken. Because what? What makes it broken that happened there? He was able to pull his goalie out and do something about it. If he didn't, and that was a perfect ball that went to my player, well, then I get rewarded for it. If he saw it and pulled his center back, he stops it there. It's not broken. You can defend it. Right? It's not like that ball went through simply because of how his team was lined up and he couldn't do nothing about it. He can respond to that pass and do something about it. So it's not broken. Broken is in UFL when your opponent presses R1 and R2 and it gives you a speed boost that the defenders don't even have the ability to do. So you automatically run by them. Great job by Law and great defense by me. Man, that was a close one. But that's what makes this game good. It's all about what you and your opponent are doing. No AI, no nonsense. I can't press R1 and R2 because my player will sprint twice as fast as they normally do and the defender can't answer it. I can't go to a certain angle that guarantees me a goal. I can't turn on Smart Assist so the AI starts doing stuff for me. All I can do is play football, time my tackles right, make my passes right, and when I'm wrong, I pay for it. And then my opponent has to make me pay for it by putting the ball in the net, right? There is no BS like in the other games. And you see here, we finally get one back. And what was funny on that one, it was actually harder than the other two. Because remember, there's no goalie movement in goals, which I love because the way goalie movement works in football games, it's just too unrealistic, right? Make the goalkeepers different levels based on their stats, AI or, AI controlled, balance them accordingly, which I think goals did a good job of. For a while there, they weren't saving anything during like the playtest week, and then they balanced them pretty well, I feel like. But nonetheless, his keeper had made those 2 saves before, and let's look at how I get this goal. Once again, Kocha, wide open there, right? Not being marked. If he pulls his defender back with the right stick, he gets that easily. And let's see how I started that play too when I sent that run. Ball's back. Switch it. Now as I receive it here, boom. I trigger that run. Instead of moving back with my attacker, notice where his defender's going. He's moving that player to pressure the ball. See? He made the mistake right there. If he's read the play right, he takes that defender the other way and marks that run, and guess what? He's winning that ball. Simple as that. Not broken. User error. The same way when he smokes me several times, it's user error. It's user mistakes, and those happen in football games. You don't say, oh, that's broken. Why? Because, and I'm not, Law doesn't do this at all, by the way. I'm saying that these other players say it. Law, and I didn't have one thing to say. He did point out, and he is right about this, there's times when I should use my wingers where I get tunnel vision. That's why I was telling you guys earlier. It can actually hurt you playing these balls. Because once your opponent starts reading them, they get them. They'll win them. And you just coughed up possession for no reason with a skilled player like Law and other guys like that. They'll make you pay. So here we go. Wrong read. It allows me to get through. Coach's got incredible strength and balance outside of just the running in a straight line and finishing, right? And that pays off there. I went over in depth the player attributes yesterday on my stream, so if you want to see that, you could check it out. Most every time, there is some stuff, yes, because it's an alpha that they need to fix or tighten up. But a lot of things in the game, like if it's a slow first touch, if the ball kicks out way far away from your player, if it seems like your player missed a tackle. When you go look at the stats, you can see how it translates in the game, and you'll realize that most of the time, stuff that you think, oh, that's broken or messed up, is just because the player's poor in that area. Lower balance, I would have got knocked off the ball there, right? I do still want them to have an actual shoulder challenge where you put your shoulder into the ball and then they have a stat for it, because I feel like that interlocking duel between the attackers and defenders is missing. They have it with shield on the attack. They need to do something for the defense, in my humble opinion. But even as it is, everything can be explained based on your decision making and how well you understand the stats your players have in using their strengths, staying away from their weaknesses. It's simple, right? So I'm able to keep possession and go through and finish it. Now, this is where I made the mistake with I Am French and then went in and apologized to him, not only privately but publicly in the Discord. Not that I had to, but you guys know that's how I am, man. I cannot stand rats, but in the case of I Am French, he is a dribbling beast. And the way it was working, it was like, why is he bouncing off my defender? Well, if you notice, because it's alpha, sometimes it's hard to see the shielding, the little skill moves, the stuff that's going on. Hopefully they make that more clear, but jumping to conclusions because it was like my defender's right there to win the ball, and it's almost like the tackle's not working. And then they acted like it was crazy to talk about the connection and stuff, like they've never played FC or UFL or eFootball and understand when players know, especially in FC, there's players that make their freaking careers in FC off of utilizing terrible connection, where there's terrible delay, and understanding how to make it work for them. And you guys can look this up and go into the details. I know if you've played FC, you already know. But you say that in goals and they act like you're crazy, right? By they, I'm talking about these same three guys with their little followers who are trying to tell you that this game right here is broken and don't play it. You guys tell me what's been wrong with it so far. So once again, preventable in that first area where Law came forward. Should have went backwards. He wins that ball. I don't get through. So we go up 2-1 against a very, very good player. And again, this is on Goals Galore, so you can watch all three of these games. It really showcases the game well. Even that uglier game against Joel, it was still competitive, right? It was still extremely fun. And that's where I forced it. I wasn't too far out, but he marked it well, right? And one of the reasons is because he's such a beast defensively. He's so hard to break down, and Kocha is literally useless anywhere else. But you'll see where, in this game in particular, right, some of those plays where I'm forcing possession is what cost me. But it's funny, though, because in certain cases, right, when you're playing these games, now look here. Beautiful ball, right? I mean, that's a good ball to play. Now watch what ends up happening from here. It opens up the rest of the attack for me. And then I end up taking a terrible shot, but that easily coulda, shoulda, woulda been 3-1 me. And if you add in the earlier two, it could have been 4-1. But guess what? It's not. It's 2-1, and I'm playing against a monster. I know the game's far from over. Check this out. I'm showing my stats here in game. Right? Look at those stats. Look at the dribbling. 39 sprint dribble. The ball will go from me to the goalie. Close dribble only 56. Passing in the 20s and 40s. I literally can do nothing with Kocha, and she still is one of my best strikers to where that's what I have to deal with. She's literally meant to stretch the defense. That's it. Make runs in behind. Look at those stats. That's what she's meant to do. She makes well-timed runs with that attacking IQ and finishing, and she sprints. So that's how you utilize it. You can't force the ball still, which is what I do sometimes and make mistakes, because it's a mistake because it gives your opponent the ball. But that's her job. Even if it's a decoy run, which is what I should have used her as more, is a decoy run. When she's on, she's on. But that's where a skilled player reads it and knows when to play it, when not to. But you don't go, oh, nope, that's not allowed because these guys say it's broken since they can't defend it. Instead of pulling my center back there, I'm going to let him score and then tell him he's an abuser. It makes no sense, guys. You couldn't make it make sense if you tried. So let's get back going. So you see, Madi is more well-rounded. And if you notice, she doesn't get those through balls very often. Sometimes not very often. Right? Because she's got elite dribbling. So I can add that and get the ball further from goal and know that I can get out of trouble or turn the ball and take on defenders. It's not like with Kocha. And you can tell that in game. If I had two players like Madi, guess what? You'd see a lot less of those through balls. Simple as that. I mean, you see her attacking IQ 78. So even if I try to trigger her, it's a little bit delayed. She's a little bit slow. Sometimes she's slower to make runs because that's how attacking IQ works. But it is what it is. You just deal with it. You play with your players to their strengths. Stay away from their weaknesses. So it's 2-1. Remember, I end up losing this, and you're going to see how. Beautiful stuff there, but I defended it well. Marked the cut well. And that's where Law, it's just every single time he's got the ball, you got to be you have to be on your toes. Look at that left stick dribbling. And then I do well to defend there. That Anacleto's ended up being one of my top defenders. Now look at this. I end up blocking this, but I want to rewind it and show you this. Right? In other games, tacklebacks are an issue where you win the ball, but like the opponent keeps pressing forward, and as you win the ball, there's this little animation glitchy thing that happens, and they come through with the ball you spot than they were before, usually in on goal. This is not a tackleback. This is great defensive pressure. All right? Like, they do got to fix the area where you make a tackle, the auto tackle triggers, where you just have to run through the ball, but at the same time you press the stand tackle so it kicks the ball away. Like, yes, fix that. Make it to where when auto tackle triggers, the stand tackle buttons, not allowed. Like, it can't be kicked away, right? There's got to be a little buffer zone there, even if you kind of slow down the defense. Then they can play it, because when they kick it away after, challenging themselves to win the ball, and they accidentally kick it away after all that, a lot of times it can even go to the attacker, and now they end up scoring. It is a nuisance, but the defensive pressure is what it is, right? So if I rewind this a little back to show you when I won the ball and how he got it back, right? So look. Win the ball. Beautiful by Anacleto, my Brazilian wing back there. Great job. But look. I should have played my keeper's feet, and then she could have played it out. Well, I didn't do that, so guess what happens? I pay, because he was right on me right away. I had a way out of that. That's my mistake. Oh, defensive pressure's too high. It's too broken. And look, because of that mistake, I almost got scored on. But so far, I've been doing well to defend a very, very good attacking player. So as we continue, I'm up 2-1. Coach, I've been able to spring through twice. And then there you go. You see what I'm talking about. He reads it well, and now look. I'm made to pay for it. I think he even scores right here. So once you start defending it, I've even seen somebody comment like this, and they're exactly right. Hey, the better you defend it, the better it is for you, because you get this easy, free attack that you didn't have to really earn. Defensively, your opponent kind of just kicked the ball to you, right? And that's exactly true. That's what I did there. It goes both ways. Beautiful through ball there by Law. And he's going to start getting nasty with his dribbling. He already is nasty every time, but so hard to defend, but I do well. I'm super happy with the defending I did in this game. Once again, boom, he's back in, and he's just a monster. Monster at attacking. Monster pressure at defense. Oh, and that barely slid through. I can't believe it got through. But once again, Anacleto saves the day. And I force it, and look what happens. Now let's look at this. He didn't earn it, meaning like with regular build-up. But he punished me for my mistake. This isn't broken, guys. This is my mistake. Simple as that. Rewind it a little bit more. So he's got the ball there. Watch here. I defend it well. Tries to beat me. Tries to get in. I bring Anacleto over because I see, even though Anacleto's a left back, look, my left center back's got his other attacker marked, so I come in to help out, win the ball. Great job. But then, why not keep her and then play it out wide? Why not keep her and then just clear it? Instead, look what I do. Why? Why? Now, the one thing I did try over this was to send Altani on a run, and Altani didn't run, but I was also kicking it off bounds, so that could add something to do with it, where that kind of kick isn't going to go very far. My own stupid mistake. Nobody else's. My own stupid mistake. And because of that, boom, my opponent's able to score and tie it. Rightfully so. My stupid mistake, he made me pay for it. Then he goes for the through ball. And guess what? It's perfectly fine. Why not? Right here. Oh, that was the wrong play. I wanted to show you where he did, because he does a good job. I'll rewind it back to that, or fast forward it to that. So I want to show you this. Look at this. Look at that. Perfectly played. Perfectly played. Coach is not offside. Right? My opponent, Law, doesn't switch to a center back. But notice what he does do. If you need to look at the mini-map, look at the mini-map. And it's a combination of something else too. So watch this. And I'll show you where he does really well on 1-2. Right? Goalkeeper was already coming out no matter what. Now, it was way too far of a ball. But either way, he didn't switch to his defender. He decided to mark it by using his keeper. Right? And if it was a better ball, I could have had him in some trouble, but it was way too overplayed. He was on his toes with his keeper. Boom. Now, for me, it's risky to just use your keeper. I like using my center back and pulling my keeper out. He just uses goalkeeper there, or who knows, maybe he's forgetting in those scenarios, like, oh, crap. But then he remembers, pull the keeper out to cover those. I don't know. Maybe it's by playing, maybe not. Either way, not broken. Defendable. Flick your right stick to center back, run backwards. That's how easy it is. No one can look in the mirror and say that that's broken, or that, oh, I can't do that. I can't flick my right stick and run backwards. It's broken. Come on, guys. Good dribbling. I like that change of speed. Look at that, man. Elite. Elite. I think it's coming here. All right, 2-2. And then here we go. Smokes me. So, you guys have watched up to this point. You're telling me, and we haven't even played the other games yet, oh, the game's so broken, players are going to leave, this and that. Where? Where do you see it at? It's a great game. Even as is, and it's going to be sharp, and that's the beautiful part, that's the exciting part. But it's already a great game. So you ready for this ball? Ready for this goal? Worked up. Good one-touch passing. Works it through. Champion. Now remember all those chances I missed? I didn't say, oh, the goalie's too overpowered. That's the AI. I smoked him. It's his AI. I should have had 4 goals, which I should have. But the goalie made the save. The goalies have different stats too. Right? In those chances, the goalie made the save. That's the bottom line. It's better than having a keeper that can move all over the place and serve as a crutch for defenders who get smoked. Right? So I didn't capitalize on my chances. Guess what? Law did. Beautiful ball in, and then I was just toast right here. He isolated me with a great attacker and just a simple little cut, which was dangerous of him because I had 3 ways to guess. He was going left, he was going straight on, he was going right. I chose straight on, he chooses right. Good night. Simple as that. If I remember correctly, so I'm at 1980 right now. Yeah, so I tie it back. So I pull 1 back, and I'll show you my goal here. It's actually a beautiful goal. Look at this. Boop. 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 Now let's look at how that happened. Right? Let's break it down. No glitches involved. I win the ball from him beautifully with my CM. Play up to my left striker's feet. Beautiful turn. She's an elite level dribbler. He's got to watch Kocha because I could have played that through right there. Madi's not the best passer in the world, but a great passer. I play that through on the ground to Kocha at an angle. Maybe could even got it there still. And then I notice he's offsides. Coach is a she. She's offsides. So what do? I send Sparks now. My Cam on a run because he's got both of his defenders worried about me, not worried about Sparks. Cut away from the pressure where the 2 defenders are at, knowing I have Sparks on the run. Boom. Player through, touch, bury it. And that's how both of our games went. If you can point out anywhere where these go, oh my God, it's so broken. Now, if they end up nerfing those over the tops, well then guess what? I simply go like this. I'll actually take you into my team. If they end up saying like, no, maybe they change the trajectory, maybe they make them float in the air more, as long as they don't do it like UFL, but I have full faith in the devs at goals. But the way that they're making it sound is like the game right now, just don't play it, or the game right now is bad, and the people saying every patch is worse. This is still the best football game out. I just challenge you to try it yourself. Oh, I got a certain challenge, so we'll go open that here in a sec. Oh, I got another one. What the hell are those for? Damn, what are all these packs for? 92 defense! If he gets a little bit of an upgrade, in pace, oh my goodness, this Hamad can be a monster. 80-85. Look at the defending, he's brilliant. Passing too. Dribbling's very bad. Physicality could be better. What were those packs for? Let me see. Was that from Discord? I don't know. Look at this. Talking about lag spikes. When I talked about it, oh, what are you talking about? It's like, man, it's just these few toxic guys that make the game look. I'll show you. I can't show you right now, can I? Yep. That make the game look worse and that make it just not positive. It's not a net positive. Congrats. You played the alpha. You helped provide like feedback. Good job. That is good, without a doubt. But what good is it going to be if you're chasing the actual players away? If you're in the Discord with limited players saying all this bad stuff and actually speaking bullshit about the game. The game is not in a bad spot. You guys just watch that game. You can go watch any game on your own. And then we're about to play some of these games right here if you're not playing yourself, which you would already know. But look, I talked about the same thing. Okay, guys, you're going to have this stuff. That's fine too. Why? Because there's limited servers. There's going to be more servers at full release. And the matchmaking when there's more players is going to be the consistency of the gameplay due to connection and stuff is way better in goals. Way better. Way better. Don't worry about my connection. If you have to score, do it. Like, that stuff happens, which I talked about. People's connection can mess up the game. And some players, as you guys know, do it on purpose. But I brought it up in those same toxic idiots. The Marceaus, the Ronald. Oh, what are you talking about? What's that? What are you talking about? There's no cheaters. But you play every game and you see it. The disconnection glitch in UFL from this related topic. Like, don't listen to those guys is all I'm trying to tell you. It just makes me mad because I don't get how it's not obvious that even to them that they're doing more bad than good for the game with what they're making that whole Discord. For players that come in and just read through it or like check up on the game, unfortunately players do that instead of just trying it for themselves. There's so many players that forget the chased away stuff from before. I'm talking about just so many players that go in, oh, look what they're saying. Oh, that sounds terrible. See ya. When it's a great game. So yeah, let's say they do nerf it though. Those through balls, right? I go in here and I go, okay, well guess what? Bullich, all she can do is sprint and shoot. Kocha, all she can do is sprint and shoot. So I'm going to have to look at someone like a Keo. Not as good at shooting, but way better pace, decent enough passing. And put her in and put her at maybe a false 9 type of position or player similar to Madi. Because as you can see, I simply don't have other good shooters. Right? Or the ones that I do just aren't elite in other areas. These are two, and I'll talk about the rewards in a bit, that I had that I upgraded and they moved into epics from rares. But they both have one more upgrade that I'm hoping pushes them to where I can start them somewhere. That's what I'm waiting on. Same with this Hamad. I mean, literally just some pace. And you can end up being a center back, starting center back. I have all short center backs, man, but, I mean, he's too elite defensively. The aggression, strength, and all that could be better. Right now, aggression isn't even turned on in game, which is, like I said, there's some stuff, if you read the stats, that isn't even active right now because it's an alpha. So that's where I'm at with it. I just wanted to make sure to point that out because there's nobody in their right mind that's going to play this game as far as just the football side of it and then say, oh, man, there's no way. Look, too much abuse, too much nonsense if they're coming from these other football games. There's just no way. What's up, Nico? Who else is in here? Tomcats kick. Holy crap, Tomcats, you're all over the place. Dave, man, I already talked to you about that. But yeah, Phil, hopefully that answered your question in a very, very long form. So let's go check out these other games and compare it. Because if you're not playing goals because, oh, it's, you know, abusers and blah, 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 which is exactly what I showed you. That was a game from yesterday. Then are you going to come play this? I'll be right back and we'll go through these in detail. Now, the first thing I want to point out, and it's with all three of these other games, and who knows where goals will go with it. I know for a fact they won't go in exactly the same direction because these three games, where they rip off the players the most is the microtransactions to buy players. Well, in goals, yes, they can sell packs for legendaries and epics and all this, but because it's players that are unique to goals, made up obviously, and unique to your team, right? There's not going to be those Messi packs and the Romario packs, and then, oh, this new promo came out with this Mbappe that everyone wants, and they're going to spend all this money to open packs to hopefully get them when they have a 1% chance, and just all the nonsense, right? You don't have to worry about that in goals. Now, I do wonder, like, they have to make money, so if it's a free-to-play game, well, how will they do that? I'm hoping it's with, like, kits and balls and stuff, but I don't know if that would be enough. And if they do packs, there's, like, a limit, similar to how there is right now. But we'll just have to see, right? So if you follow, like, say, Nick runs a foot market, you see he just spent a bunch of money to get this Messi. I'll show you my team in a second. Like, are these great players? Yes. But do I already have a Cruyff? Yes. And then there's a Messi. There's about 1 million Messis, right? And they just keep releasing them over and over. So not only does it get old, but you spend tons and tons of money. When I show you my team, you're going to see this. But I'm telling you, it's like a $1,300 team. Literally. It's unbelievable. Did my little free spin. And as good as my team is right now, there's been so many more even newer players. It's crazy. So we'll go in and actually play. Here's my team, by the way. Here's my team. But it costs all that money, and I'd still take my goals team over this, still play goals over this any day, and I'm about to show you why. Go to an event, PvP. I think in all these you get 50 coins first. Yep. Hey, so I can use Romario, Adriano, Rivaldo, Pele. Then after that, I'm toast with the made-up players, but that's okay. Asajinho. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go there. Man, let's go all out offense here. So I got my 4. Go Guimaraes. Now I like Joel's better. Joelinton. And we'll get big dog Vinicius in there too. Oh no, I think he has to play striker, eh? Get some width going. Alright, so here we go. So you see the team. I got Pele. I got Romario. And this is obviously an events team, so you've seen all the rest of the Hullets and all that I have. And even so, I'm going to go in and guess what? On the football part, there's going to be smart assist being used, which means the AI is making all the decisions. If they see that you choose something that they feel they have a better option, their option goes through. You're not even making the decisions. The most important stuff, especially, the AI is doing. On the defensive side of things, you're mainly holding down not only AI assist, but you're holding down your pressure button, which means you don't even run after the player yourself. Right? You press the button, it locks onto the player with the ball and runs straight at him. It's the most insane thing in the world. It's not football defense at all. The defensive system in goals is as true to football defense as you get. The decision-making in goals is as true to football as you get. as true to actual PvP competition, which is why it's not only the best football game, it's going to be the most exciting esport to watch. As far as football games go, the 5v5 mode is fantastic. I mean, it goes on and on. Look at how bad FC botched up Rush. Look at how bad eFootball botched their little 3v3 or whatever it is. Goals in alpha stages already topped these guys by far. And people want to be in the Discord. No, don't play it, or this game's that. No, it's not. Goals is fine. Probably gets smoked. Looks like a Division 1 player, which is fine. Could care less. Maybe it'll be a good game. I doubt there's going to be some mess up with the controls. Something that I'm going to forget because there's so much, so different. Oh yeah, opponent's got a very good team too. Former Division 1 player. The goals camera angle is still so much better. I know they're going to have more. Look, it's already glitching like crazy. Holy bad connection, dude. Look, through balls in every game. Look, his defender defended it. Through balls in every single game. But the difference is you're doing the through ball. At least the AI's not supporting you. Why didn't it pass that ball? That's crazy. That was interesting. I don't know why my player didn't pass it there. You gotta love that. Never have that happen in goals, ever. My defender just, the pass just doesn't register. Look at how long it takes to even get off a pass in this game, too. Oh, by the way, went far post there. The game shows near post for me. Went far post there where he tried to move his goalie. Watch this if he lets me. He won't. Went far post there where he tries to move his goalie, which goalie movement's so dumb in the first place. The only game that recognized that is goals, thank goodness. And the game switched it for me. The game switched up my shot for me. So yes, there shouldn't be goalie movement, but the AI should never be switching your shot. Never. Finishing so much more satisfying in goals as well. Oh, what? Good. Oh. Now this is where I do hope goals would copy off of eFootball, is with their free kicks and their corners, in particular their free kicks, but even their corners where you can do set plays like set pieces and stuff, so much better. eFootball has the realest feeling. You guys see what I mean? You guys want to play this? Look at this. I'll let them watch it. Look at this. You guys want to play this? Look at this. Look at the challenge from Marquinhos. And you guys probably don't know this, but that's Smart Assist. That's what it does. Now watch what Marquinhos does here. Ready? Watch this. Watch Marquinhos. That's Smart Assist. That's what it does. Diving. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through a whole game. I'm already bored. Never in goals do I get bored. Never in goals am I going, oh, you guys have seen me play a bunch. And it's an alpha where there's the stuff that's wrong. Of course, it's going to be wrong in the alpha. Right? Or the game's goofy with like connection stuff, but you're playing people with limited servers across the world. Whatever. This game, look at this. All the freezing, all the what do you call that? Screen drops, whatever the hell it's called. You guys know the technical terms more than me. Look how long it takes to register a shot. It's all AI. It's all AI. Unbelievable. It's all AI. Oh, I'll let you watch it. Why don't you want to watch my AI goal? And you guys want to say stuff about goals in the Discord. Give me a break. Acting like goals still isn't the best game. Look at this, guys. Oh, you're worried about long balls. Look at that long ball. What did you think about that? Look, AI just... It's all AI. That's all it is. We're just going back and forth letting our computers do it. This game is so broken it's not even funny. Look, I'll let him watch it again. Watch this. That defender just, it's done. Once they get it and they decide, it's the same both ways. Watch. Oh, that was the wrong player to do a skill move with. See? That's all it is. Look, long ball. But the difference is it stops your defenders. It stops your defenders. The game does. That doesn't happen in goals. If you read it right, you're going to get rewarded. If you don't, you get punished, as it should be. It's very simple. Look at that. Marked it correctly, but it doesn't register right. It just, this stuff does not happen in goals. Didn't check to the ball there, eh? Goal! I know, but you got to admit, Nico, like when you watch that game of goals, which one looks more fun? Especially knowing that AI's doing everything for both teams. There's no rewarding feeling on either end because you're not doing it. It's the AI's doing everything. AI is doing everything. The connection's terrible. Like everything that's wrong with the game is wrong with the game. Or everything that you could imagine that could be wrong with a football game that you would not want. Like, okay, we want to make decisions. We don't want AI. We obviously want good connection because nothing's worse than delay where it doesn't read your reactions, right? Slow, it's terrible. Look at the how long it takes to get a pass off, a shot off. It's just a boring game. Look at this. There we go with the through ball. Broken through balls, perfectly weighted. And perfect finishes every time because the AI. I mean, look at this. So what's wrong with goals then, guys? Tell me, what am I missing? Because this game's been out for over 30 years. Oh, don't play right now. Don't play goals right now. It's messed up. I don't know if it will die, but players are going to leave. To what? To come play this? You guys can't even tell by watching, but AI is doing everything, right? They're making sure the passes are perfect. The finishes are perfect. It's AI. That's it. And this is a Division 1 player in this game, which is so sad. And it sucks too I feel bad because Pez used to be it used to be the most realistic. It used to be the football game that true footballers wanted to play. Here we go again. So what's the difference, guys? I'm waiting to hear it. Good. Feet. Come to. Lay it off. You can't trigger runs in this game either, so your players are where they're at. You have to super cancel to do it. Look, I have no energy. My players are totally drained. Goal. Goal! Look, we're playing on 2 bars right now, guys. We're playing on 2 bars. Oh, wow, that was bad. There we go. Win that. Boom. You're in. Oh. But every battle you get in goals are like, because of how goals is, it's your decisions. You know what I mean? And so it just feels so much better. There's no way anybody could play this and say, nice try, though. I like that. See, like I said, I like the corners. There's no way anybody could play this and say, oh, great game, or this was fun. It's literally the AI doing everything. And mind you, this is a Division 1 opponent playing this game on the regular, because you have to be to play that many games, be Division 1. That's having the AI do everything for him. That's insanity, guys. Who wants to play games? So you're talking about broken. That sounds pretty broken to me. If you don't know what Smart Assist is, look it up. Look it up. There's no reason why I should even be in this game like this or like scoring goals like this. This would be like me playing against Tex or somebody like that. Kind of the same thing. I don't know this player's exact rank, but they're terrible is the point. But that's where eFootball's at. No skilled players want to play. As I guarantee every skilled player ends up at goals because they can actually play football. Let's try something crazy here. Watch this. This is going to be funny. Let's try something here. I don't want them to be able to go this crazy what I'm about to do, but hopefully they switch up the game. They make it to where you can change up. I want them to do it with a limit, within limits, where you can change up your formations and stuff. Right? So I'm going to go for that last ditch tie. I don't want you to be able to do this, but within reason where you could change up your setup. But this is eFootball, guys. And trust me, you guys know if you play this game, you'll face stuff like this sometimes. Having to worry about playing on 2 bars, 3 bars every game. The next one we'll go into is UFL, then we'll end on FC. But it's just nonsense what those guys are in there saying. And I just don't get it, man. With respect to the devs, because they have a great team, they're doing a great job making the game. I don't get how they can't see. Like, when you're reading through this stuff, how they can't see the negativity. Go watch the next time they do a 5v5 tournament or something and just look at the, whether you want to call it vibe, the culture those guys are spreading. Now, they know to an extent, by the way. But what sucks for the devs is, like, that's the impression that people get. That's who they read. Like, many think, like, the guy hosting those tournaments, the Marceau guy, is a goals player, is a goals employee. Oh, there it is. There's my chance. Oh, too much. He'll head it to the goalie and that's it. Oh, he couldn't. He couldn't. So if you think that's anywhere near goals, you guys are crazy. Holy shit, 19 shots to 5. I scored 4 out of my 5 shots, so I'll take my percentage. And then I'm going to show you guys that dude's division. He was a top Division 1 player. You don't believe me? Watch this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Top 300 player in the world I just played. That's a top 300 player in the world. That's a top 300 player in the world I just played. And I haven't played eFootball in months. This is eFootball. You're telling me you're going to say all that crap in the goals Discord about... You got to be kidding me. That was a top 300 player I just lost to by a goal. The top 300 player that out-teamed me. Because it's all AI and it's trash. There was no skill in that game whatsoever. That was a crap game by both sides. But that's a top 300 player. So when I say got the top 4% eFootball, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, that's what eFootball is. That's why, thank goodness, we have goals. That's what the Discord vibe should be. That's what somebody like Marcel, oh, but these content creators are sharing. Go look at my content on goals, and you tell me who's promoting the game. The guy who's telling the truth about the game and showing it compared to this trash, or the guy in Discord saying, oh, these abusers, the game's not going to die, but it's very bad right now, and we need a patch now. The game's so bad. Chasing players away. They come look at that. They go back to their games, even though goals is much better. How about you say the truth, which is, guys, yes, it needs work. It's an alpha, but even as is. The game is so much better than these other games. Go play these other games one time and you'll be thankful that we have goals. No, but that's not the vibe. From your quote-unquote community leaders, just based on, hey, they decided to play the alpha for the longest time. Congrats. But they're totally destroying the culture of the community and they're destroying the promotion of the game. How that's not obvious? You guys go read through Discord and tell me where I'm wrong. These people that oh, well, they help us out. That's great that they did certain stuff, again. But it's not going to matter when they're chasing away players. Who cares about the bugs they helped you get rid of when the players that you need to come and make this game better aren't coming? Well, eventually what? Those guys are so they're going to see, oh, type in Twitch, goals, tournaments. Oh, look, a goals employee hosts these tournaments. Or look, goals is hosting tournaments. They see this Marceau guy on there going, oh, the game's terrible right now. Look at these abusers. Look, this is broken. This is broken. They need to fix this. This is wrong. The game's terrible right now. Right? That's what you're seeing from those guys. If they're not ripping somebody apart, doing something like that. It's a joke, man. So as good as the devs team is, they're allowing that Discord stuff to get out of hand. So my opinion to you, or my advice to you is, don't listen to anybody else's opinion, including mine. Go play the game for yourself. You'll have way more, if you're an eFootball player, you'll have way more fun playing goals. Now let's go into UFL. What, do you want goals to be like UFL, Marceau, and you guys, oh, it needs a patch, oh, it's... Let's go into here now. Players show the game and tell the truth about the game. Exactly. Yeah, they're all terrible. So how is that not a topic in the goals Discord? It's so negative there, and it's not indicative of... Every time I've spoken to those devs, they're so positive and helpful and honest too. And they know they're actually more modest than I would be if I had such a good game like goals. But those few people that represent the community because they're the loudest voice or they've played the longest and they're at the top of the rankings too. So people are going to look and listen. They are at a whole different level than what the devs are. If you were able to talk to the devs or see some of their stuff, you would see like, damn, dude, these guys are the real deal. But when you see all this other shit, it's negativity, toxicity, and just BS. But unfortunately, when players go in, that's who they see, is the bad part. So I'm in the very top of all these games, right? I just played a top 300 player in eFootball. I'm in the Premier Division of UFL. Another game where it's all about the money, right? I know goals is going to have to make money somehow, but again, if you see how the devs work, you know that they're not going to make the mistakes these games made. You just know they're not, period. Here we go. Going in straight into a game. I actually found an opponent. But usually it is 2, 3, 4 minute waits. I know. Probably stream sniped. Who knows? So we'll play one game of this. Now, I want to point something out. Too. Which, by the way, the one thing I'll give them credit for is these, their art and customization, stuff like that. Is great. That partnership with Adidas is great. But it doesn't make up for the terrible gameplay on the pitch. Now, I want to point out, when I'm sprinting, you'll see the difference. When I just sprint regular, there's a glitch where when you hold down R1, R2, it gives all of your players 99 plus sprint speed. Alright? So you see this game's been out forever. I'm matching a Ruby player. I'm in Premier. Not saying he'll be a bad player, but I'm matching a Ruby player in Premier. It's crazy. And when you hold this down, it just ruins the game because then you can just zigzag and run through players. It's ridiculous. Not to mention there's a certain angle of a through ball that you play that automatically goes through defenders. Right? And that's what he tried to just play there. It automatically goes through them if you play it at the right angle, which he didn't. So I'm going to show you what they did with their through balls. They make them hang up to where it looks like there's a net in the air. Look, he tried to do it himself right there. He tried to just do the glitch. Watch. Once I get space, I'll show you. So watch, he's going to do it. That's what he did. That's all it is you hold down R1, R2, and you sprint down the middle, guys. So you see, that was Roberto Carlos. Watch. Watch him get this little... See that little boost? That's not his speed. So watch. Watch how I do this. That's a 79 pace Ruben Neves. .79 pace. The automatic passes are hilarious too. Look, you hold down R1, R2. Look at this. His defender has no way of doing anything to me. I know, bounce back and through ball. I know. That's what I was telling these guys. You hold down R1, 2, you bounce around on the defenders, and you play. I mean, none of these games can touch goals, dude. Not even close. They're not even close to fun, nothing. There's no way, having played goals, I could play into these. Why isn't that the talk of Discord? It's the alpha. Give goals credit. Oh, this abuse, this game, it's terrible right now. It's the worst. Look at these guys, what they're doing to the game. Oh, so what I'm doing for the game right now is bad because I'm fixing your guys' bullshit that you're creating in Discord that for some reason the devs are letting you guys get away with, which is hilarious because you're demoting the game. You're doing the opposite of promoting the game. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at this. Oh man, you can't make this up. I mean, I'm showing you proof. We just watched a whole goals game. Look at this. Oh, what the heck? Through balls. Really? You can hold L2 and get a glitch header too? And that's all Holland does. And it's kind of the same thing in FC when you put Holland and just counter through ball the whole time. He just runs through players. What the hell? Gotta love the auto passes, eh? What the fuck is going on? Oh, there's the L. You ran out of a room, buddy. Yeah, none of these games are even close to goals. It's not even an argument. No Nobody wants to talk about that, though. But if you guys are watching this or someone stumbles through this, just give goals a try is what I'm trying to tell you. The game will speak for itself. The game will speak for itself. It truly is that good. It gives you that classic feel where there's no BS over the top like they're doing in every other game that takes away from the football, where you're making every decision and every game feels great. You feel rewarded every time you score. When you make mistakes, you can trace it back to something you did wrong in every single play. That's not the case in any other football game. Oh, dang it. But these guys will sit and tell you, oh, man, the game's so bad. The game's so messed up. You want to play this? Here's our 1R2 for you guys. Oh, who knows what happened there? Oh, that's hilarious. We'll have to share that one. We'll have to share that one. Oh, man. That's the second time it's done that, where my player runs in the way of my shot, and the first one hit off my player. The second one... It's crazy, bro. This game is so wild. That was hilarious. So you get for playing with your goalie. See, in goals, you wouldn't have to worry about it because you can't... Well, yeah, you can pull out your goalie, but... Good night. Good night. Give me a break with this game. This is in the Premier Division too, dude. If you don't know, that's the best. This is the best. I just played a top 300 in eFootball, so you can't say, oh, well, you're playing lower players and you haven't played. And no, this is the top of the games, guys. I'm at the very top in each of these. I'm playing the very, very top. You don't get much higher than top 300, right? I mean, with all the millions of players that play all these games, we're playing at the very top. When you're talking about all the players choosing to play goals in eFootball and UFL and FC, many of them are Division 5 players, Division 3, Division 7, Division 2. You know, we're not just talking top 10, top 30, top 100, top 700, top 1,000. We're talking 10,000, 100,000, you know, 500,000, a million people. Goals is the game. That's just the truth. See how they did it in UFL? Is that what you guys want? You want the AI to just run back and cover for you? That's what you guys want to do? I mean, come on, guys. Would you rather manually control your marking of through balls and keep them true to football? Or do you want to... Whichever way is fine, by the way. Because they could nerf them even just a little, make the trajectories higher. So you have a chance to actually... What do you call it? Win the header, win it. You can't nerf them all the way out because I feel like it just takes away a component of the game. It just makes it too unrealistic. What was that shot? Was crazy. Here comes the L1R2. Look, I'm going to bounce off his defenders. Look, told you. Oh, I just held L1R. I didn't even look at him moving his keeper. Oh my god, how are people playing this game and being for real? How? Penalty! Yeah, it's coming out in 2026 full release. Right now it's the alpha. Right now it's the alpha, which is before beta. It's a very early version. Very early version. But you can sign up on the website. Go to playgoals.com and sign up to be a playtester if you're on console. And then if you're on Steam, it's free. Or not free, but you don't even need, you just go into Steam and I think you can play it. You don't need a code. If you're on console, you need a code. But you just sign up to be a playtester. And I don't know if they're closing it out to limited players or what they're doing, but from what I know, you just do that and you can play. In Steam, you can play no matter what. Man, is this game okay? Good, it's almost over. And it's just no fun. I just don't have fun playing these games, right? Oh, well, there's cartoon characters and goals. Oh, well, you can't beat Del Piero and Lampard. And who cares? You just get to play them over and over. The same thing every year, every game, same thing. Goals went with something unique and it's brilliant. I couldn't wait to open my rewards yesterday and I upgraded the heck out of my players. And that's what it's all about. It's way better. I don't know. It should still be on PC. Yeah, no problem, Nico. No problem, buddy. Hey, Nico, where are you from? I noticed English is like your second language, which you speak it very well, bro. Good job. But what country are you from? I think I probably asked this before and I forgot, but... The ultimate mad player, he's pausing the game like it's doing something to me. It's insane, man. Oh, it's insane. Oh, these games make me sleepy, so I don't even have to play FC. You guys can go watch the million videos showing that bad gameplay. I hope he wasn't pausing to, like, quote-unquote freeze me out. You know how players do that. It's hilarious. Oh, the corner glitch, the flick on corner glitch is still in the game too. Wow. It's unbelievable, guys. So, my point is, I'm sick of this negative bullcrap. I'm sick of these things going on. So, the timeline is this. Play goals, love it. Go into Discord, state my opinions, state something against a player I played against and talked to a couple times with a video and stuff. And then these guys go in attack mode. Which, by the way, when I look back, that player is a beast too, by the way. But it's me and a player. Then I start getting these messages nonstop. And apparently one of these guys that was sending the messages from these negative bully types in Discord was like a real big troublemaker. But they seem to think that it's all one person and they're wrong. However, I can't share names because, and rightfully so, they're like, these guys are biased. They don't care. I don't think it's the devs that are like that. How the mods are and all that, they're players too. Who knows? But I just tell these guys, who cares, dude? The Discord means nothing. These guys mean nothing. But nonetheless, I forward the stuff on. Right? And there's several people that are going to be gone. Rightfully so, because they said some horrible stuff, whether it was two ways and there's another side of the story or not. Then there's others that toe the line, that goals knows aren't necessarily good for the game or bad. It's just I see them as totally being bad because when you go through and you have this negative culture and these negative things being said about the game that just aren't true. You guys have seen for yourself, out of these games being played, how could you sit there and dog on a game or say, oh, this patch is bad, like it's unplayable, and these abuse things that everyone are using, like it's such a... But the way they're talking about it, you would think they're talking about UFL or eFootball or FC. So how is that a positive for the community? It's one thing when you're ripping players apart, or let's say whether they deserve it or not. Why these players even care what these guys say, I don't know. But it's a whole nother thing when you're supposed to be like a community quote-unquote leader, right? You've been in the community a long time, and you can't recognize how good Goals is for an alpha. You can't point out that already in alpha it's got this over these games and that and that and that. Many things you're pointing out, oh, broken this, broken that. It makes the game look bad. So if I'm John, who just decided, man, I want to try a new football game. I heard this Goals is pretty good. What are you going to go into to kind of read up what people are saying? You're going to go into Discord. And then if those comments I showed you earlier, the first thing you're seeing where it's all negative, it's just constantly negative stuff in there from the same culprits every single time. It spreads a terrible culture, and it's anti-Goals because it makes, if I read that, I wouldn't want to go try it. I'd be like, oh yeah, this looks like another UFL. Oh, all this broken stuff, that player who just ripped the game apart, you can't say he's wrong, man. All these players abusing this stuff, man. It's the game's not going to die, but a lot of players are going to leave. Great job. Great promotion there, genius. Great promotion there. They see that you're the one who hosted the tournament, so they go in, they want your take on it, and you're just always negative about the game. But yeah, somehow everybody else is bad for Goals, and it's crazy. Barbados, nice. But good job, Nico. You're doing good. So you guys can go look at those comments. Please don't take them to heart. Like I'm saying, I just showed you examples of all of it, but you can read it for yourself and tell me what you think of that whole culture that those few individuals are spreading. It's crazy. But the main thing I care about is that the truth is told about the games, which is Goals is the best football game, even in alpha. It's just facts. You just seen eFootball against a top 300 player. You just seen UFL in the Premier Division game, which is the top division you can get in UFL. And FC, just like I showed you guys in Battlefly, played all the FC Pro stuff. The Open, the ladders, all those things. Every year I'm competing in there. Play at the top. Got rank 3 with my All Evolution squad. And I was just bored. I was bored because the game is empty. Something that Nick said. Something that Inception said. The reason these games all feel so empty and why you get bored and why it's so frustrating is because they've taken so much away from the decision making and your enjoyment of actually playing football on the pitch that the games are going to feel empty because the old games you actually made decisions that mattered. You got excited about playing because you were actually competing. Now it's just all animation, AI, glitch, trash. So again, I can't even stomach another one of these trash games. So if you guys want to see FC26, you can watch any of my videos. I broke down the one with Inception and Nick that just shows how bad the game is. And Nick's a very good player, and so is Inception, but that's how bad FC is. And then you put it up to Goals and then go read that shit they're saying and tell me that those few Marceau, Ronald, these guys that are saying this stuff about Goals aren't dead wrong, right? You be the judge. So play Goals. If you have console, go to playgoals.com, sign up to be a playtester, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. If you're on Steam, simply go to Steam. I could be wrong, but I don't believe you need a code. You just go to Steam, download it or whatever you do on Steam, and start playing. It's that simple. By far the best game. So hopefully you guys give it a try. See for yourself. Do not just listen to other people's takes, whether it's bad from the Discord guys or if it's good from me or anybody else. You play for yourself. Let me know in the comments section if you agree with me after you play it or not. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much to Nico, Andy Vega. Thank you guys for coming in. Phil, thanks for stopping in, bro. Much appreciated. Dave Riley, thanks for coming in. Even though you reminded me that Man United is just in a terrible place. No, I'm just kidding. Dave, thanks for coming in. Everybody from Kick, thanks for coming through. The ones that aren't bots. And I'll catch you guys later. I have some really good goals content coming up, so make sure you're staying tuned with that. The next couple days are some great videos showcasing some great battles, and a little surprise too, where you might just get to meet the goals development team, the heroes behind Saving Football Gaming. Catch you guys soon. Peace out.